So I don't know if you guys remember Jaguar. They put out an ad for a car that went full woke, full retard, and they stood by it. This video, let's see if you remember this, because this is unbelievably stupid. And who thought this was a good idea? This is supposed to be a commercial for a car. Who does this appeal to? Certainly not people with money. I mean, this is like hanging out with an inverse gothic kid or emo from back in the early 2000s. This is supposed to be advertising a luxury vehicle whose audience is primarily upper middle class, has money, older, because younger people typically don't buy Jaguar cars, at least not from what I've seen. You know, when you see a Jaguar, you think an older, elderly person. How the hell was this supposed to appeal to anybody? Not a car in sight in that ad. And so you know what? They've had their asses handed to them. 98% reduction in sales following this catastrophic ad. This is by the New York Post. Jaguar sales crater a shocking 98% after woke rebrand EV pivot. So they also went to electric vehicle and went woke. So double whammy right there. Jaguar sales in Europe plunged a shocking 97.5 following a botched rebrand that included a commercial featuring men in skirts, because that'll really get you into a Jaguar car, to announce its upcoming pivot toward an all-electric fleet, but the cars have yet to arrive at deal. So they have an ad, which, by the way, didn't really even say anything about electric vehicles. I mean, if there was some secret code in that commercial, I didn't see it. All they did was piss people off. Now, the luxury British automaker registered just 49 vehicles in Europe in April compared to the almost 2,000 in the same month last year, according to data from the European Automobile Manufacturers Association. Sales between January and April plummeted 75.1% with just 2,665 cars sold across the continent. That is embarrassingly bad. The stunning decline comes after Jaguar rolled out a controversial ad last November, that's putting it mildly, that featured non-binary models, meaning mentally ill models, wearing a rainbow of colors with slogans like "Copy Nothing" and "Live Vivid," but excluded any images of its sleek sports cars as it touted its transition to a fully electrical ultra-luxury company. I mean, it was just bad. And all it did, they had to have known this was going to generate controversy, but somebody in the ad company said, this will be really good. We'll get a lot of attention. There's no way that this was ever going to help them. And they should have learned after watching the Dylan Mulvaney fiasco. But they didn't. Now, the uproar over the woke ads was likened to Bud Light's bizarre 2023 partnership with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney, which led to a boycott of America's best-selling beer and severely damaged the brand. However, the collapse in sales can mostly be attributed to the delay in releasing its flagship model, a four-door GT. The EV, expected to cost around $200,000, won't be out until late 2025, according to India-based The Economic Times. That's just a nice, convenient excuse. But the bottom line is their regular vehicles are not selling either, which is all you really need to know. Making matters worse, they write, is that the company has effectively gone dormant this year as it phased out all of its gas and diesel-powered models ahead, leaving dealerships empty. Oh my God, so they are just... What happened to this company? Why? So they're committing hara-kiri here. The rest of its EVs, which were a lightning rod for President Trump during his 2024 election campaign, are set to go on sale by next summer at the earliest, according to Bloomberg. The Post reached out to Jaguar for comment. I don't think they replied. Jaguar's EV pivot and ad campaign was seemingly intended to attract younger customers, but it instead drew sharp criticism from industry experts, dealers, and longtime fans as the iconic brand company failed to halt a slide in sales. Yeah, they alienated their base, just like Bud Light did with their, anti-male garbage. You can't do this and expect there to be any kind of success for your company. Like, if you abandon your core audience, the people that make you who you are, good luck. Good luck surviving. So, yeah, they are cooked, my friends. They are cooked.